People do say I'm cocky. Some say I need a good whooping. Some say I talk too much. But anything that I say, I'm willing to back up.
Yo.
Yeah, what's up with y'all, man? This is YBU in the War Room, and I'm with my bro CK. And the conversation that we're talking about is should convicts or should people that serve time in the penitentiary, should they be able to vote, and should they be able to have rights? So that's the conversation that we're talking about.
Okay.
And let's just get into it. And
all right, man. You know, I'm glad bro brought this up, man. I'm glad bro brought this to the table, man, because you know, it's kind of crazy how we are considered, you know, not now, but in the past, kind of crazy. We as black people, I'm tired of sitting together, just be careful. It's kind of crazy how we as black people in the past were considered as 1/3 of a human, right? Follow me. Okay. From that, us being considered 1/3 of a human because we did not look like everybody else, right? So, since we didn't look like everybody else, they didn't think we were human, right? From there, the Constitution was passed. And in the Constitution, it clearly states, I'm gonna go ahead, before this video is over with, I'm gonna show you in plain black and white what I'm talking about. But until then, take my word on this. In black and white in the Constitution, everybody can get a copy of the Constitution anyway. It says in the Constitution that no human being shall have their freedom taken away or become slaves unless, that 5-letter word, unless you commit a crime. Y'all follow me on this road, right? You follow me, bro?
yeah, I got you.
I'm going somewhere with this. So, in order for us to continue to be considered slaves, we had to commit a crime. Okay. So, the same individuals who layered those loopholes in the Constitution and in the law books are the same people that we petition for rights, getting our full rights back once we leave prison. Now you see where I was going with that, bro?
Yeah.
You got to go in the past to figure out where we at in the future, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at it like this, man. I don't need no piece of paper. I don't need no pat on the back. I don't need no recognition. Because either way, I'm going to defend myself. I'm still going to be a man, and I don't care about not having full rights. Because same thing, you know, same thing everybody else is doing, we could do, you know, just don't get caught doing it. Simple as that, man. But truth be told, I believe some people who had like some real heinous crimes, now I don't think they should have their rights back, especially gun rights, like the rapists and you know, people that, you know, just do crazy shit just on GP. People ain't got they mind, you know what I'm saying, 100%. I don't think they should have their rights back, man. I don't think they should have their full rights. Now, people like myself, if I wanted all my rights, I know how to get all my rights. I know how to petition to the courts. I know how to petition to the governor, but I choose not to because I'm cool where I'm at. I'm comfortable. I'm cool. I'm all right, man. So, bro, what you think, man? That's my take on this.
I think that if you serve time, you already did your time, that you should be able to vote. But let me ask you this question. how long does it take for you to get your rights back if you if you were in the penitentiary or you did time in prison? How long does it take for you to get your rights back to be able to vote?
Well, you're right. You can always you will always be able to vote. So soon as you leave prison, they're going to give you your all your belongings. They're going to give you a temporary ID card, and they're going to give you a card to tell you where to vote and how to vote. So once you leave prison, you can vote. So anybody that said that they cannot vote because they've been in prison, they lying. You can't vote while you in prison, but some prisons let you vote while you in prison. Some
Really?
vote, some prisons they have polls at prison, in prison. Yes, some prisons let you vote in prison, like the lower level camps, like threes, and I'm just gonna say 3, or like anything lower than a 3. But yeah. But if you committed a felony, which is a different story, you can still vote. You still get your voting rights, but your weapon rights will never be reinstated unless you petition to the governor.
So you'll never be able to own a weapon.
You'll never be able to legally own a weapon.
Really?
Yep. Unless, like I say, unless you petition to the governor. But in the beginning, my opening, that's all I'm gonna say. Same people that put you in that situation, you think they're willing to give it back to you?
Right. So, so when you got out of prison, were you able to vote?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Matter of fact, I didn't waste no time when I first got out of prison. I started voting. I didn't just go on a voting spree. I went to the first ballot box and voted. That was my first time voting ever.
Were you able to? Could you have went out and bought a gun?
No.
You couldn't do that.
Well, not at no gun shop.
Well, right, I know that. So how long do they hold you up to where you can do that though?
Man, look, it's like this, bro. Some people say, it's been said that after 7 years, you have a better chance of petitioning to the governor to ask for gun rights to be reinstated after 7 years of no crime, no extra crimes, no more cases or nothing. So I'm at 7 years, but I'm good.
Okay. My thing is that I think if it's not a violent crime, you ought to be able to.
Go ahead.
If it's not a violent crime, you ought to be able to, because you served your time, right?
Right. Yeah, true.
So you ought to be able to do the same things that every other citizen does. But I believe that it should be to a certain degree. If it's a violent crime, then you need to go through a protocol.
Oh, well, that's basically what I'm telling you. If you have anything less than a felony, you can have your rights back immediately, your gun rights back immediately. If you have a felony, you got to go through that system. You got to wait so many years. What I was just telling you earlier, you got to wait so many years, petition to the governor. That's if it's a felony. But anything under a felony, you get that back immediately, unless it was a violent crime, a violent misdemeanor. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you in the system, the rights that you have, like as far as with like the food you eat.
Mm.
Like, I don't know. I've never been in the penitentiary. I've never been locked up.
It ain't fun.
I've just been down in Central.
Hey, I know. I remember them days, boy. I know how we got to Central too.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
like to me, I feel like they. This is my opinion from what I see and from what I heard from people, from you and from people that I talk to. They don't feed you well.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. No. Okay. Feeding feeding back to the prior statement I made in my opening.
All right.
We not being a whole person, a human. Okay, the 1/3 of a human thing, okay. It actually is real in prison. So I say that to say this. I have never worked in the kitchen. I had cellies that worked in the kitchen. And my cellies in the kitchen tell me what to eat and what not to eat. Some of the meat in the shipping packs, it says on the box, not fit for human consumption. Mm-hmm. Evidently, we're not humans. So, you know, but the food is horrible. I guess they call itself, I guess the state consider, you know, I guess they feel like they giving us a break or something, like, but about three or 4 times a year we get a decent meal. Like, you know, like on 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, shit like that. You know, but all in all, it's pretty much a bunch of garbage. It's a bunch of garbage. That's why most of the time I eat myself.
But do you, as your rights, see, my problem is when you go into prison, you shouldn't lose all of your rights. So the food that they give you, to me, a lot of people disagree with this, but I think people should vote while they're in prison. Yeah. And I know you told me that some people vote in prison. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did not know
it's
that.
Like, but for real, I wouldn't even consider those places prisons because they are like very low security.
Okay.
But they are under supervision though. But they let them vote in prison. All right. But like level 3s, 4s, 5s, shit like that, nah, they can't vote. But yeah, shit, they got prisons where some inmates got freaking internet in they cell. But that ain't here in Missouri though. That's way out of state. That ain't here in Missouri.
Right. Yeah, but I feel like you should have some level of rights while you're in prison, and I don't feel you should be mistreated.
Man, listen, man. Let me tell you about mistreating in prison. I can eat like a whole hour up on that subject. Man, as I said once before, tying back to the 1/3 of a human. You know, so we are considered cattle in prison.
Yeah.
We are considered a profit, like cows. We're considered a profit. We're cattle. Okay? They keep us fit. They keep us on the yard. Got to take care of your product, right?
Right.
But what happened when a damn cow try to break through the electric fence? get shocked. Okay? You got the Goon Squad. That's what we call it, the Goon Squad. I don't know what's the real name for it, but yeah, Goon Squad come through like they the mob. They layered up in, you know, all they gear, you know, electric shield, helmet. They can't get hurt. So they just break in cells, beat people up. Once upon a time, I've never been hit with the Goon Squad, but I did have a freaking oxygen tank full of mace sprayed on me, you know. And over the smallest thing though, because I had got the wrong meal. Okay. Imagine that. How does not getting my right food constitute the right to empty a can of freaking tank of mace in on the cell? Don't make no sense, but who cares? We just cattle. We're not human. You know what I mean? And it's been times, it ain't just the mistreatment, it's the neglect. It's people who have lost limbs because they couldn't get the proper medical treatment. I knew a guy got bit by a spider, went to the nurse's shack. They kept sending him back until they had to get his leg amputated. He sued, he got paid, but once he got the money, they start making him pay to be in prison. Because if you have more than $5,000 on your account, they charge you for being in that room. Once you get under $5,000 on your account, they won't charge you anymore. So he was getting charged to be in prison.
Right.
Something that they did to him. Do it make sense? Don't make sense, but 1/3 of him. So, you know, and then you got situations where I was actually across the hall, like my cell was here, another cell was right here across the hall from me. So it was this guy across the hall from me. He had 1 week to be released. He checked in so nobody wouldn't mess up his release date. And my boy, they put a dude in the cell with him that was never going home. 1 week to live, never getting out. Don't add up, do it. Don't add up at all. So I'm sure you know what happened. Dude amped up like everybody is. They getting ready to get released. He amped up. Oh man, I got number of the week. I say whoop-de-whoop. Dude, like, he ain't never going home. This shit fucking with him. I ain't gonna say it was some hater shit. It was just some, I'm tired of this nigga talking about this shit that I'm never seeing the streets again. So he did the total disrespect to this dude, man. He slammed his head into the metal bed till he died. 5 days, this dude was dead in the cell. Five days. He was in the cell dead.
And what was the COs?
COs all they do is walk around. All they do is walk around like every hour. They walk around. They don't look in cell. They act like they look in cell. They just walk around, just making sure ain't nobody hanging off a damn sprinkler or nothing. But
he sat in the cell for 5 days.
The body, he put the body back in the bed, wrapped him up in some blankets like he sleep. He was taking his trays, he was taking his mail, he was taking all his stuff, and he was taking his booty. He was fucking a dead body for 5 days.
Really?
Yes, true story. I was across the hall from this shit. Crazy, man. But I got a question, right? I don't know if you can honestly answer this question, but
go ahead.
Just riddle me this though. See if you can answer this, because you've never been in a situation.
Nah.
So I'm gonna ask you this anyway, and just hypothetically speaking, if you was in a situation, what would you do? I forgot what the hell I was going to ask you. It took so long for me to ask it. Damn, that's old age, boy. But it's crazy how oh, that's it. So if you were put in prison for longer than your mind can handle, do you think that your mind would break, or would you be strong? Or would it break you, or would it make you?
If I was in prison, I mean, that's an obvious question. I mean, the answer to the question is obvious. I'm not gonna break. So, but that doesn't like.
I'm setting up a question. That's why I asked you that.
Okay, go ahead.
Setting up a question.
But I could break though.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
But I asked you that to ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think that people feel like that they are being reduced to animals, so they act like animals in prison? Do you think that their mindset like switches on to animal mode, like I don't care about nothing, kill me, I'm gonna kill you type of mentality?
I would believe so to a certain degree, because like you're in a situation where you don't have any rights. It ain't like you get up and you shower whenever you want to shower.
Uh-huh.
It ain't like you get up and brush your teeth when you want to brush your teeth.
Well, you can brush your teeth when you want to brush your teeth.
Can you? Okay. Well,
you got to sink in the toilet in yourself.
Okay. Well, okay. But you can't do what you want to do to a certain degree. You can't get up and wash your ass. If you take a shit, it's like this morning I woke up and took a shit, and I was like, hold up. You
My
know,
booty loose. What happened?
What you say? I was like, hold up. Like, let me jump in the shower, man, because I just took a shit. You can't do that. Can you?
No, hell no. You have, it depends on what level of prison you're in. Like I was in level 5 prison, maximum security. And you got 1 hour to get everything done, then you got to lock back down. 23 and 1.
I don't think that's
to hit the yard. You can either you got an option: hit the yard, take a shower, hang out in the wing, get on the phone. You got 1 hour to do all this.
I don't think that's right. I think you ought to be able to take certain. I mean, to a certain degree, you ought to be able to take certain. I mean, I know they're in you in a prison setting, but you ought to be able to take certain showers to a certain degree. How many showers do they give y'all?
Well, it depends on what part of the prison you in. If you in a hole, shit, you take a shower once a week.
See?
In a hole, you take a shower once a week. But it's like 72 people in a wing. It's 72 people in the wing. And it's like 7, 14. It's like 18 showers. 72 people got to share 18 showers. So, well, but then, hold on. I'll take that back. You get an hour in the daytime and an hour at night, though. You do get an hour in the daytime and an hour at night. So it's really 22 and 2. So you can either take your shower in the daytime or take a shower at night. So you're going to either take a shower, stay in the wing. Well, you can only hit the yard in the daytime while the sun is up. You go either hit the yard. Once you're on the yard, you can't go back in until rec is over. So you got to prioritize. You got so much time to get everything done. You got to prioritize, you hear me?
Let me ask you another question. If you have money on your books, what are the food options that you have if you have money on your books?
All junk food, but it's better than cafeteria food.
I bet it is, but like, give me examples of what are, if you have money on your books, like if I send money to your books, what type of food options do you have?
Okay, meat wise, you have packs of tuna. You got summer sausages, which is the main commodity, is the summer sausages. Tuna, summer sausages. That's on the meat I could think of. Oh, some bullshit ass beef jerkies and shit. Then you got graham crackers, Roman noodles, which is you can make a freaking buffet with Roman noodles and summer sausages in prison, boy. Swear. Think I'm bullshit. Coffee, which is a main commodity, because you got the coffee, peanut butter, which is the main thing. In summertime, you get your ice cream. I don't know about no popsicles. I ain't never had no popsicles, so I can't tell you if they got popsicles. But yeah, they got the good ass ice cream. That's why I discovered that fucking Moose Tracks is in prison. That shit's so fire. I still eat it today.
Okay.
Moose Tracks ice cream, summer sausage, graham crackers. Really, basically everything that you get is something that you don't have to keep on cool, unless you get a box of chicken, which you got to eat it that day. A box of banquet chicken, which you got to eat that day.
Do they give y'all any vegetables if you got money on your books?
I have never seen vegetables on the canteen list.
Okay.
Ever. Oh, yeah, chips, of course. Chips and shit, yeah, chips.
To me, I think that's a problem.
I'm saying, but when you think about it, though, you working out all the time in your cell, then you working out as soon as you hit the yard. So, you know, we stay fit up in there. We were staying fit up in there. I came out looking like a skinny ass tank.
I mean, you could stay fit though, but as far as like
your health wise concerned,
sodium, like sodium, just like the food that you was just telling me about, even if you had money on your books, like Roman noodles, you know that's high in sodium.
And it's all starch.
Yep.
And summer sausage, you know, it takes that forever to digest in system.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna say that it was a freaking walk in the park, you know, so you had to do what you had to do. It was either eat the food that wasn't food in the cafeteria or just whip something up in the cell.
Okay, let's talk about the food that, like, if you didn't have money on your books, how was the food, the slop? Is that what they call it, slop?
Oh, yeah, they got mostly in there slop.
Okay. What type of food was it?
Oh, like, shit. For instance, the chicken cacciatore, which I don't think it was chicken at all.
Was it cat?
I don't know what the hell that was, man. It was like little bitty white strands supposed to be meat mixed up with some little red sauce. It's not pasta sauce. It was just red sauce with some vegetables in there. I'm like, I don't know what it is, man. It's a mystery. It's a freaking mystery. But like that, now I would go to the cafeteria to eat the whatever that shit was, the cornbread and chili. That was, I get out the cell for that. You know, like some meals was worth going to get, like the chicken. They, you know, they make pretty good chicken. And you can't substitute chicken. Bone-in chicken, can't substitute it.
Okay.
You know, and it's like so many different weird ass things in there, man. Different meals, man. Like shit, you know, when times was hard, shit, I went down there, ate some beans. Beans had bones in it.
Damn.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
See, my thing is that it goes back to that's why I was asking the questions, because I don't care if you did a crime or if you did anything to be in that position, you still should have some level of rights, and you still should be treated like a human being.
Yes.
You know, and I just don't like that. Like the anybody that's in the prison system, I feel like we should, if you did your time, you ought to be able to get out, vote. Depending on your crime, you ought to be able to own a gun, depending on whether it's a violent crime. While you're in the prison system, I feel like you ought to be able to eat healthy if you choose to.
Right. Right. True story, man. True story, man. But I'm like this, man. But if you're not considered, you know, a full human being, what do? You know, cats don't ask for rights, do they? So what you do? You do what you do and don't get caught doing what you do.
Yeah. Yep.
I look at it, man. It's like it's. I ain't gonna say it. I just said. I ain't gonna say I just said fuck it, but it's just like right now, I don't even care, man. I just want to stay out their way. They stay out my way until I get my ducks in a row where I can go ahead and make some shots. But real talk, man. I don't even think anybody knows this. So I'm gonna ask you, do you know the statistical rate of whites versus blacks in prison?
I think it's more whites in prison.
You think it's more whites in prison?
Yeah, just by the numbers, because it's more
whites in America?
Yeah.
You mind if I share something with you then?
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and delve into this together then. I just wanted to, here you go. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me screen share this real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yep.
If it's gonna pull up.
I see it.
Okay, we freezing. Here we go. I don't know. Oh, this site ain't secure, no wonder. But anyway, let me pull this up, then close this joint up. Okay. And I'm gonna read this for y'all if y'all can't see this. This is from the IB Times. Black men only represent 13.3% of the U.S. population, while white people make up 77% of this population of America. But there are more black men in state prisons across the nation than there are white men. Okay, is that a fact or is that just a opinion? Let's keep going. The latest, which was 2016, they probably ain't gonna pull another one up until the middle of next year or this year. But the latest Federal Bureau of Prison Statistics showed that white population was 58.7% in August. That was last year. Okay, y'all like, okay, well, it's more white people, right? Compared to the 37.8% of blacks being housed in federal institutions. Oh, that's just the federal institutions. So white people was doing more high collar, big wig type of crimes to get sent to federal prison. Okay, let's add the state prisons up. At the state level, however, the department said that black male prisoners represented 38% of the population, while white males account for 35%. And 21% are Hispanic. Blacks are 5-1. Okay, that answered that question. Oh man, that's what that was. That's some video in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see this graph?
Yeah, I see it.
It says institutional and supervised population. Oh, this old though, so I'm not even gonna go off of that. But yeah, that answers your question, bro.
Okay.
In the federal level, this was in 2016. In the federal level, there were more whites in prison than blacks. Not by a large margin. Not by a large margin.
Hey, I knew
But on
that.
the state level, huh?
I said I knew it was gonna be more whites in there.
That's just on the federal level. But on the state level, there are more blacks.
Okay, but
So when you do the math, bro, when you do the math, blacks only occupy 13.3% of the United States.
yeah,
So that's like half of the blacks in America are in prison, if you really want to get technical with it.
yeah.
Half of the blacks in America are in prison. I ain't gonna say half, probably about 33% of them are in prison compared to the total population of black people in America. So it's safe to say that there are more blacks in prison than whites. By comparison of the median.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy, but back to my opening. 1/3. How to keep you at a 1/3 level under the guise of slavery. Let's lock them up. That's for another day. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That video we watched, the 13th. If anybody gets a chance, watch this documentary. It's called The 13th. It's on Netflix. You might be able to catch it on YouTube. Check it out. It's called The 13th. It'll enlighten you more than what we have been bringing up.
Oh yeah. Check out 13.
Yeah. So, I ain't got nothing else to add on this right now, bro.
I mean, it's self-explanatory though.
Yeah, man.
Nothing else to add on it.
Just give every American rights. Oh, y'all don't want, man. Fuck out of here. But give every American rights, right?
Yep.
That's where we're pretty much going. Wow, what the hell going on?
Yep. In the system, that's my thing. Like while you in the prison system, when you get out of the prison system, I feel like you ought to be able to have not the same rights as a person that hasn't committed a crime, but you should have damn near pretty much the same right, at least eating the same healthy food. Like, I feel like that's wrong. Like, you shouldn't be eating slop in the prison system.
Right.
And when you get out, you ought to be able to vote. Some people can't vote though. I don't know. I might be wrong on that. I got to do my research on that.
Everybody who leaves prison gets, well, I'm going to say everybody I've encountered who left prison, including me, and I had a violent crime, armed criminal action robbery. Okay. So I'm sure if they gave me a voter's registration card when I left, I'm sure they gave everybody else a voter's registration card when they left.
Okay. Do you feel like you ought to be able to vote while you in prison?
Truth be told, nah, I don't even care for real, because that's the farthest thing from my mind while I was in prison.
It might be the farthest thing from your mind, but do you feel like that should be your right, though?
It should be a right, hell yeah, but ain't too many people be focusing on their day-to-days while they in prison, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, if what keeps people pushing, keeps people moving, keeps people motivated in prison is a routine. And voting wasn't in the routine for me. My routine was getting in, getting out, doing what I need to do, get back in, get out, do what I need to do, get back in.
Okay, let's jump into the job aspect of it. Do you feel like when you get out of prison, should that be held against you and put on your record as far as the job aspect?
All right, you asked me a question. You mind if I answer that with a question?
Go ahead.
If your boss was drunk,
Okay.
kicked you in your ass, hypothetically speaking, I know that'll never happen, but if your boss was drunk at a office party, kicked you in your ass, and told you go home, but you came back the next day, would you let it slide? They're both, but nah, that's not even a good fucking man. Okay. I'm trying. Basically, what I'm trying to illustrate is, man.
Go ahead.
Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. There's only one Jesus. So why should my mistakes cost me greater, you know what I'm saying, backlash than somebody else's mistakes who done the same thing? You know what I mean?
I don't get it.
Basically, I was 19 when I caught my case.
Okay.
Why should something that I did as a youth follow me into my adulthood, and everybody continues to take a look at, they don't see the strides that I made, but all they see is the freaking dust that I left in the back.
Right. So basically what you're talking about is minors. And let me ask you this question. You being a minor, did that travel over into your adulthood? The shit you did when you was a minor?
Yeah, still going through it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that to me.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. True story. First got out of prison. Applied at Walmart. I got 3 interviews back to back within a week for Walmart. And I'm psyched. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got this job. They said once you make it to that 3rd interview, you already hired. So, boom, my 3rd interview, I'm waiting on them to tell me to come in and, the day I start. Now, I ain't get no phone call. Instead, I got a letter. The letter said, we regret to inform you that we cannot employ you at this moment because you are a high fraud risk. Okay, how's that? Because I had a robbery, something that happened in 2000, but I'm a high fraud risk though. So yeah, it still followed me. This as soon as I got out of prison. I ain't caught no cases I've been out. So that's the only thing they can base that off of. You know what I mean?
Right.
And on top of that, to add insult on an injury, I've never told you about this because I never even tripped off of it. I didn't even care. After that, I didn't even care about getting a job or not at Walmart, that is. But to add insult on an injury, you know, the people who did my background check that sent me that letter, they got sued a year later. I got a letter from law office. The law office said that they were suing LexisNexis, which did my background check. You know why they suing them? They sending out discriminatory letters. What I got was a discriminatory letter. And I guess a lot of people got that same letter, so they did a class action lawsuit. I ain't get much. They sent me $40 for it. It was free $40 though.
Right, right.
But yeah. So safe to say that, yeah, it still follows me. It's still being discriminated because of that.
And to me, I think that's a level of your rights that are still taken away from you. Like you'll never get your rights back. You'll never be by law. It says that once you serve your time, you've already done your deed. So you should get your rights back to me, right?
Right? Yeah, yeah. Because if you've already paid your debt to society, why are you still chucking in money in every month? Not real money, but basically, why? Okay, if I already paid my debt to society, why am I still being looked at as an outcast, a criminal, can't be trusted, and that's far from the case.
Yeah.
So, it's what it is, man. I've come to grips of, like, I don't even give a fuck no more. I'm throwing my applications out there, go fishing, whoever bite, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Simple as that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But we should care though. I think that's what we should be fighting for though.
But look, bro, check this out. I care to a point. That's why I went and got my GED. I did what I could to better my situation.
Yeah.
That's all I could do is do what I could do on my end.
Right.
I can't change how they look at me. I can't change how they look at all criminals.
Nah.
So I'm gonna do what I could do on my end.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is that people not in your situation, like me, I'm not in your situation. We should start talking more about that because I feel like it's unfair. I'm all about rights.
Yeah.
Like just because you go to prison, that doesn't mean you lose a certain degree of rights. But I feel like you should have a certain degree of rights to stand up and be like, oh, okay, when I go to prison, I'm eating a certain type of food. If I choose to eat fried food in prison, I choose to eat fried food in prison. If I choose to eat healthy, if I'm a vegan, I want to be able to eat vegan in prison. That's my thing.
Man, listen. The food was so bad in prison. This is when I wasn't getting no cash coming in yet. So the food was so bad in prison. I said, forget it. I'm not touching cafeteria food no more. So I went on a vegan diet, even though they only give you peanut butter and tuna and shit like that. But That's pretty much, that's it. Peanut butter, tuna, some beans, and you know, but it beats, you know, the alternative.
Right.
So that's what people try to, you know, circumvent the system as far as not eating what they offering by, you know, taking alternative, which is the vegan diet. I did that for a while until I got maced. Yeah. And then, man, it's crazy. If you in a hole, if you in a hole, and if you got like a certain type of case to where they can only feed you a certain type of food. No, I take that back. If you have an infraction, and your infraction, if you catch an infraction in the hole, there is a if you get a violation, the way I don't know what violation it was that made them do this, but they will give you a thing called a meal loaf. Yeah. That is your that will be your that's how you get punished. You eat a meal loaf for a week.
I heard about that. That's like mixed with like
Listen.
What
they tell you it was.
Spinach, beans. Hold up. But answer me back. Is it spinach and beans mixed into it?
It's worse, dog. Guess what it is?
Go ahead.
The meal loaf is everything they had in the cafeteria that day, blended up, made into a loaf.
It's like a meatloaf, right?
Yeah, but it's everything. It's the dessert, the vegetables, the fruit, everything. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's kind of, you see how devious the mindset of, you know, people that come up with this type of stuff.
Yeah, but like the pressure need to be put on them though. I don't feel like that's right. I feel like if you go to prison, you ought to be living comfortable. You shouldn't be living like us, like people that are outside of the prison. But I feel like you ought to be able to at least be eating regular to a certain degree.
Right.
And all of the stuff like the meatloaf. I'm gonna post a video of what you're talking about. And then let me know if that's like similar to what you're talking about. Because it's like this meatloaf I seen like on YouTube. And it's the same thing you was talking about though, I think. It's meatloaf, but it's no meat in it.
Everything that was in the cafeteria that day, I don't know how they constitute it and make it come together, but you know, that's what it is, man. I've never had one, and I have no desire to ever have one. Yeah, so that's what that is, y'all. And you know, y'all see it, man. 80 proof in the building. YBU is the movement. Y'all heard me, man. So let's get it in, man. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all views. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start hitting that like button, hit that share button. You know what I'm saying? Comment, tell what y'all want us to talk about, you heard? But in the meantime, in between time, man, y'all be easy, stay peaceful, love God, love yourself, and love each other. One.